We are now joined by Dr. Peter Maurer. Dr. Maurer is President of the International Committee of the Red Cross. Thank you, Dr. Maurer, for joining us at this year's Gallen Symposium. The ICRC celebrates its 150th anniversary this year. Where do you see the organization 10 years from now?
Well, thanks first and foremost for having me here. It's a great opportunity to be in St. Gallen and to exchange with so many. I think today's conflicts and world in which we are moving is a conflict in which ICRC is convinced that it is still very much needed. We see armed conflict which resembles armed conflict from the 19th and 20th century with battlefields, civilian populations wounded, the needs for medical aid, hospitals, food and water supply. We see our detention work and our protection work still needed, and I think even in 10 years this will be still topical. On the other side, we see new challenges. We see new weapons coming to the battlefields, drones and automatic warfare. We see new actors coming to the battlefields. It's not only states, not only liberation movement, but it's narco-traffickers who have weapons and weaponry similar to armed groups of the 60s and 70s. So we see a changing environment, and therefore I think ICRC will, in 10 years' time, still be looking for the best way possible to bring humanitarian aid and protection to people in need.
Thank you. Have you ever experienced any challenges due to the organization's cross symbol, especially when acting in Muslim societies?
Well, not to a particularly large extent, very frankly. I think wrongly so, the Red Cross is seen with a few people as an expression of religious adherence, which it is not, as everybody knows. I think whenever we are confronted with this type of question, the best response is to show in a credible way that the Red Cross means neutral, impartial and independent humanitarian action. And this means that we are servicing all communities, all sides, independent of religion, ethnic or political adherence.
Coming to the last question, at the 43rd St. Gallen Symposium, you're hosting a work session entitled Courage in Humanitarian Action. In a nutshell, what does courage mean in today's humanitarianism?
I think it means three different things. It means the courage of the first responder in a crisis to go to the battlefield and experience physical danger, and therefore the courage to overcome and to negotiate your way to populations in need. Secondly, as ICRC is also an organization which is committed to international law, it's the courage to speak out towards states and powers when law is violated. And thirdly, I think, and it relates to your first question, is the courage to confront the future, to be open-minded with regard to the changing environment and adapt your organization so that also confronted with future challenges, it can respond adequately to humanitarian needs.
Dr. Maurer, thank you very much for granting us some of your time. Enjoy your stay here at the 43rd St. Gallen Symposium. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate your interest and the invitation to be here.